ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaskar, my dear friends. I am giving you a very wonderful video about Manisha Panchakam, a great Advaita Vedanta book by Adi Shankaracharya. So you must listen and watch this video with patience and attentiveness. You will get a great hint about Advaita Vedanta. In this work, consisting of just 5 verses, Sri Shankara has brought out succinctly, means briefly, the essence of Advaita Vedanta. The occasion for this composition may first be narrated. One day, Sri Shankara was walking towards the temple of Lord Visvanatha in Varanasi along with his disciples. It so happened that a sweeper was walking towards him on the same street. Sri Shankara asked the sweeper to move away from his path. The sweeper then asked him some questions which form the substance of 2 verses which are a prelude to the main work. On hearing these questions, Sri Shankara realized that the person before him was no ordinary sweeper. Shankara replies to these questions in 5 verses. These 5 verses have been collectively given the name Manisha Panchakam. The word Manisha, meaning conviction, appears in the last line in all the 5 verses. According to tradition, the sweeper was none other than Lord Shiva himself in that form. Sri Shankara himself is considered to be an incarnation of Lord Shiva. Therefore, this work is in essence a dialogue between 2 forms of Lord Shiva, intended to convey to the world the essence teachings of Vedanta. Questions such as whether even Sri Shankara practiced untouchability in spite of being an enlightened soul have no place in the light of these facts. Moreover, in all such cases, the story by itself is not important. To derive various conclusions about other matters on the basis of the story would be going off at a tangent. One fact which emerges is that once a person has attained self-knowledge, considerations such as his caste, etc., are totally irrelevant. The verses are now taken up one by one, the sweeper's questions. Anmaya धनमयम् अथवा चैतन्यमेव चैतन्यात् दिविजवर दूरीकर्तुं वाचसी किं ब्रूहि गच्छ गच्छेति. O great among the twice born, what is it that you want to move away by saying go, go? Do you want the body made up of food to move away from another body made up of food? Or do you want consciousness to move away from consciousness? Kim Gangambuni Bimbate Ambarmarano Chandal Vatyepaya Pure Chantramasti Kanchan Ghati Mirtu Kumbhayo Ambare प्रत्यगुण वस्तुनि निरस्त्रंग सहजानंदावबोधा बुद्धौ विप्रो अयम स्वपचो यमित्यपि महान कोपयम विवेद भर्मः. Is there any difference between the reflection of the sun in the waters of the Ganga and its reflections in the water in a ditch in the quarters of the outcast, or between the space in a gold pot and in a mud pot? What is this illusion of difference in the form? This is a Brahmana and this is an outcast in the indwelling self, which is the ripple free ocean of bliss and pure consciousness. The indwelling self, which is identical with the Supreme Self, whose nature is bliss and pure consciousness, is the same in all creatures. As the Bhagavad Gita says, the enlightened see the same self in the Brahmana endowed with learning and humility, the cow, the elephant, the dog, and the outcast. Sri Shankara answers, Jagrat Swapana Susupti Su Saputtara Ya Samvidujabhrate या ब्रह्मादीपी प्रलीकांत तनुसु प्रोता जगत साक्षिणी सैवा हमने च दृश्यवितवती दृढ़ प्रज्ञापि यस्सास्ति चेत चंडालोस्तु स तो दिवजोस्तु गुरुरीतेषा मनीषा मम. If a person has attained the firm knowledge that he is not an object of perception, but is that pure consciousness which shines clearly in the states of waking, dream, and deep sleep, and which, as the witness of the whole universe, dwells in all bodies from that of the Creator Brahma to that of the ant, then he is my Guru, irrespective of whether he is an outcast or a Brahmana. This is my conviction. In the waking state, the physical body as well as the senses and the mind function and experience external objects. In the state of dream, there are no objects and the body and senses do not function. But the mind creates objects and events and experiences them. In deep sleep, even the mind does not function. In all these three states, consciousness is present. In the first two states, the presence of consciousness is obvious because of the experience of external objects and the creations of the mind respectively. It may appear as if in deep sleep there is no such experience, but it is the experience of everyone that on waking up he remembers that he slept happily and did not know anything. Remembrance is possible only of what has actually been experienced previously. It therefore follows that consciousness existed during deep sleep also, and that it was because of this consciousness that happiness and ignorance were experienced. This consciousness is thus the witness of all experiences as well as the absence of experiences. This consciousness is the self that dwells in every living being. Everything other than this consciousness is an object. The external objects are objects of experience for sense organs. The sense organs are objects for the mind. The mind itself is an object for the consciousness or self. Thus, the self alone is the subject and everything else is an object of experience. The person who has realized that he is the self and not the mind or the senses or the physical body is an enlightened person. Such a person is the Guru for the whole world. ब्रह्मैवानिदं जगच्चय सकलं चिन्मात्रे विस्तारितं सर्वं चेतद्विद्यया त्रिगुणया शेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्थं यस्य दृढमति सुखत्रे नित्य परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु स दिवजोऽस्तु गुरुरीतेषा मनीषा मम. I am Brahma, pure consciousness. It is pure consciousness that appears as this universe. All this is only something conjured up by me because of avidya, nescience, which is composed of the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. One who has attained this definite realization about Brahma, which is bliss itself, eternal, supreme and pure, is my Guru, whether he is an outcast or a Brahman. Savan swaram mev visu akhilam nischate vacha guruh nityam brahm nirantaram vimarshata निर्वाज शांतान्मना भूतम भावी च दुष्कृतम प्रदहता सविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धया समर्पतिम सौ पुरीतेषा मनीषा मम. Having come to the definite conclusion under the instruction of his Guru that the entire universe is always perishable, he who with a calm and pure mind constantly meditates on Brahma and who has burnt his past and future sins in the fire of knowledge submits his present body to the operation of his prarabdha karma. This is my conviction. Karma in the sense of results of actions performed is divided into three categories. Sanchita karma, the accumulated results of actions performed in past births. Second, prarabdha karma, those results of past actions which have given rise to the present body. And third, agami karma, the results of actions performed in the present birth. On the dawn of self-knowledge, the first category is completely destroyed along with the third category acquired up to the time of attainment of knowledge. After the dawn of knowledge, any action performed does not produce any result in the form of merit or demerit. The second category, prarabdha karma, is not destroyed on the attainment of self-knowledge but has to be exhausted only by being actually experienced. On the exhaustion of this category of karma, the body of the enlightened person falls and the Jivan Mukta becomes a Videha Mukta. This is brought out in the above sloka by statement that the enlightened person merely submits his body to the operation of prarabdha karma. Ya triyant nar devati bhir mitante saputa grihate यद भाषा हृदय अक्षय देह विषया भांति सबतो चेतना ताम भाषई पिहिता करमंडलम निभा सफुर्तिम सदा भावयन. अर्थात the self or pure consciousness is experienced clearly within by animals, man and gods as I. It is by the reflection of this pure consciousness that the mind, senses and body, which are all insentient, appear to be sentient. External objects are perceived only because of this consciousness. This self is, however, concealed by the very mind, senses, and body, which are illumined by it. Just as the sun is concealed by clouds, the yogi who with a calm mind always meditates on the self is my Guru. This is my conviction. The self or pure consciousness is what enlivens the mind, senses, etc., which are insentient and enables them to function. Clouds owe their origin to the heat of the sun, which makes the water in the oceans evaporate. The clouds become visible only because of the light of the sun behind them. The same clouds hide the sun from our view. Similarly, the body, mind, and the senses, which owe their sentiency to the pure consciousness that is the self, conceal the self from us by making us engage ourselves in worldly pursuits all the time. The self can be realized only if the senses and mind are withdrawn from external objects. यत् सौखाम्बुधिलेशलेशत इमे शक्रादयो निवृत्तः यच्चिते निद्रां प्रशान्तकलने लब्धा मुनिनिवृत्तः यस्मै नित्यसुखाम्बुधो गलितधीर् ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् सुरेन्द्रवन्दितो पदो नूनं मनीषामम्. The self, which is Brahma, is the eternal ocean of supreme bliss. A minute fraction of that bliss is enough to satisfy Indra and other gods. By meditating on the self with a perfectly calm mind, the sage experiences fulfillment. The person whose mind has become identified with the self is not a mere knower of Brahma, but Brahma itself. Such a person, whosoever he may be, is one whose feet are fit to be worshipped by Indra himself. This is my definite conviction. The the Upanishads say that the happiness experienced by all living beings, including the gods, is only a minute fraction of the supreme infinite bliss of Brahma. Brihadaranyaka 4.3.32 Taittiriya 2.8. Knowing Brahma means knowing that one is Brahma and not the body-mind complex. He who attains this knowledge is Brahma itself. Mundaka 3.2.9. Thus knowing Brahma is the same as remaining as Brahma. It should be noted that this is not the attainment of any new state. Everyone is in reality Brahma even when he is in bondage and looks upon himself as a limited human being. Liberation is nothing but the removal of the wrong identification with the body-mind complex by the realization of his real nature as the infinite eternal Brahma. A rope is mistaken for a snake in dim light, but when it is examined with a light, it is found that there never was a snake and that there was only a rope all the time. No one would say that there was a snake previously and that it had gone away. Similarly, when a person realizes that he is not the body-mind complex but Brahma, it follows that he was always Brahma and that only the wrong notion about himself has been removed and nothing new has emerged. Thus, there is no real bondage, but the individual jiva thinks wrongly that he is in bondage due to ignorance of his real nature. When this ignorance is removed as a result of Sarvana, Manana and Nidhi Dhyasana, the person becomes a Jivan Mukta here itself. So this is a wonderful work by Adi Shankara. Please share this video to maximum people. They should know the reality of the self, body, mind, ego, etc. By going through this video, you will understand the basic meaning of Advaita Vedanta. This is so nicely explained and described by Acharya Shankara. So my dear friend, thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot my dear friends. Namaskar.